If you are a photographer or a videographer, you see a lot of ads about LUTs and color grading and why you need to color grade this, that, and the other, make your shots look cinematic, this, that, and the other. But what if I told you half of that stuff is BS? This is what you really need to focus on when it comes to color grading. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? My name is Ty Turner, and if this is your first time on this channel, hey, FlashFilm Academy is designed to show you how to turn your passion into profit. We're talking about all the business that happens behind the camera. Today, I'm here to talk to you about color grading, because I am so sick and tired of it being thrown around and being pushed on people. And this is both for photography and videography. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about all of this LUTs and cinematic this and all of this crap you need to do to get your images looking like, you know, a high-end camera or looking like a very expensive camera and yada. Screw all of that. The thing that you need to focus on is your ability to provide color accuracy. Color accuracy is what's most important. Color grading is the stage of being creative after you've been accurate. To slap a LUT or a LUT that fixes skin tones or a blah, blah, blah on top of bad footage is the equivalent of spraying perfume on top of funk. It's the equivalent of being stinky and then you just rub some cologne on. We know how that smells. We've all experienced it. We got the guy that we stood next to that smelled like 10 hours of Tybo, and he sprayed some Axe body spray, and now he smelled like chocolate 10 hours of Tybo. Don't be this guy. If you understand how to be color accurate, you don't need 12 bits of raw footage to get a great image out of the camera you have. You have to invest in things to help you be more accurate. You can kill a game with 8-bit 4K footage if you can dial in the light temperature to an exact Kelvin. Instead of going 5,600 degrees, it's daytime, that should be right. You need to purchase tools, invest in knowledge to help you understand the difference in light Kelvin, the difference in light temperature. You need to make the investments in yourself via knowledge and tools so that you can get the color temperature right and you can get proper color accuracy in the camera. Now, don't get me wrong, your camera can't do everything. So there's a lot to do in post to help. But most companies you work with care more about color accuracy than color grading, because if you're working with Coca-Cola, they want that red to be the exact red that they use on everything, and they want it to pop. So you got to do what you got to do to make it right. But if you don't understand the importance of color accuracy, it's going to be difficult to keep those clients. If you're shooting food, people prepare food. They want the gravy to look this color, in which the color that it is. They want it to transition and translate on screen well. But guess what? Your lights are tungsten and daylight is coming in and your camera is trying to decide what's close and it's trying to expose for middle gray, and you don't have an understanding that the problem is something that needs to be fixed manually and not left up to the camera, and you come out with an image that's not the best. Now you're in post trying to fix it, and then having a 8-bit Kodak is the problem. But if you'd have did it right, an 8-bit Kodak would have been more than enough. So there are a few tools that you want to invest in. The first is one I've talked about plenty of times, and it's probably the cheapest on this list, and it is a X-rite ColorChecker. You place it in front of your subject. Every time you change a scene or lighting to sync it later in post to get accurate colors. Now, this works best if you're shooting in RAW, but 8-bit non-RAW files will give you some level of flexibility, just like a JPEG would compared to a RAW file. This is also very important for photography. If you're doing product photography, people usually buy things based off color. I want this color dress, I want those color shoes, and often those products come in multiple colors. If your colors are off, you could cause a lot of returns for that vendor. That means they won't work with you again in the future. If you can go in and offer color accuracy, that can be a selling point, and that can solve a problem that they may have had. So make sure you invest in understanding how to provide accurate color. Another set of things you can get are the BenQ monitor lineup. BenQ is a monitor brand that creates color accurate monitors for people who work with colors. I'll post a link to about 3 or 4 of them in the description. They start at about $5.99, maybe $4.99 on sale, and they work their way up. If you already have a monitor, depending on the quality of that monitor, you can use a calibration tool to help calibrate that monitor as best as you can get it. iMac monitors tend to be very good monitors that come from the factory pre-calibrated. However, after a certain amount of years, you want to go back and you want to calibrate it. Plus, depending on your ambient light in your house, could make colors appear differently. So you need to calibrate your monitor based on the room that you're in to provide accurate colors. And if you ever go into a really serious coloring suite, they usually don't have windows, because light temperature changes outside, which could cause the color accuracy to change depending on what time of day it is. So usually you want a dark room that has the same colors in it all the time, and you want to calibrate your monitors based off that. Some colorists don't even wear certain colors because they don't want it to reflect off the screen, causing colors to not be 100% accurate. It's that deep. So you have to start focusing on color accuracy and not color correction. Because a lot of you guys are correcting color that you haven't fixed to be accurate. You're correcting it for the purpose of artistic value and not the purpose of accuracy. So it's fine to correct it, just make sure you correct it with the idea of being accurate. You can be artsy later. You can make your shadows a tint of blue and your skin tones a little more teal or whatever you want to do, but you better make sure you have accurate colors to begin with before you start getting creative with it. Work more on getting accurate skin tones. Women do a lot when it comes to makeup to make sure they look right. They don't want to get footage back and they look like a freaking Cheeto. They want to look the way they feel they look, and you need to make sure that you provide an accurate representation of them. So work on skin tones if you're shooting people. Another great tool is a LumaPower 2 light meter. Plugs into your phone. It measures color temperature. Do not go off what your camera's doing. You can white balance. That's probably the closest you can get as far as in your camera, but having a light meter that measures color temperature is the best bet. Trust me, it's times where my light meter will tell me we're at 5,623 Kelvin, and I will turn my camera exactly to that. You would be surprised at how much better the image looks as compared to being at just 5,600. A very important thing to understand is the more guesswork you take out of the hands of your camera, the better your image will be for both videography and photography. Listen, you are smarter than that camera. If you leave it up to that camera to determine how great your photography will be or your video will be, you will lose your job to an iPhone, because iPhones are smarter than the camera you just spent $3,000, $4,000 for. They continue to get smarter. You have to make sure that you're investing in this part of your gear, because that part is what sets you apart. You shouldn't be using auto. unless there is an extreme situation where things are changing so fast that you don't have the ability to change with it. You shouldn't be using auto. I would even use priority before I use auto. However, you must understand that this is the most important tool in your bag. It needs to have more. You need to add more to this and not your gear. All right, guys, listen. If you have any questions about color grading, color correction, or any of the tools I listed, hey, make sure you post them in the comments. Follow us on Instagram, join our Facebook group, and if you are a member of FlashFilm Academy, bronze, silver, gold status, you probably got some extra videos to watch. All right, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.